I'm Lisa Fischler, and I'm the elementary school science teacher, and I'm also the drama teacher. Okay, now courtroom, go! This year we're doing Alice in Wonderland, which they've been really enjoying. It's been really fun.
This game is unfair!
They started brainstorming immediately, you know, who would be what character, what kind of scenery we could have, what songs we would need to include, so yeah, that was definitely the right choice for this group. The cards are going to get back down on the floor, and the queen is going to say, "You will be my guest in this afternoon's game."
You will be my guest in this afternoon's game.
Okay, and then you guys get up, step back. It's really important to me that everybody feels comfortable, so I'm trying to match the demands of the part to the demands that the students can meet.
Off with her head! It's not gonna work.
I'm not afraid of you.
I'm not afraid of you.
The students somewhat self-selected as far as what parts they would end up with, and they were pretty accurate as far as, you know, the students who thought that they were ready to do more picked the bigger parts. Students who just wanted to dabble a little bit picked the smaller parts. Everybody got either their first or their second choice. And everyone go 1, 2, 3, take a bow. The audience goes wild. So we have a couple of people who are in dual roles. So the show starts off with Megan as Alice's sister, and then the first of our 3 Alices, which is Drew. In the script, she's called Medium Alice.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Because she's Alice in her original form. Then Gian comes in, he's the White Rabbit. She follows him down the rabbit hole. When she drinks the potion, she turns into Little Alice, which is Sydney. So whenever Alice is 3 inches high, that's Sydney up on stage. When Alice grows really tall, she's Lily. So then Drew, Sydney, and Lily, all 3 of them together are the character of Alice. We have Brian as the Mad Hatter. We have Lucas as the Dormouse. Then we have Miles and Jeremiah are Tweedledee and Tweedledum. We have Grace as the Cheshire Cat.
You can't leave now. You haven't met the Queen yet. Who's been painting my roses red?
We have Megan as the Queen of Hearts and Reuben as the King of Hearts.
The courtroom is now in session.
Off with her head. Right, and Griffin as the Caterpillar.
Keep your temper!
We're painting the roses red. We're painting the roses red. We dare not stop or waste a drop, so let the paint be spread. We're painting the roses red. We're painting the roses red.
Can I have 2 volunteers who are going to be in charge of helping them move the desks?
The first time that we ran through the entire show, I think, was only about a week and a half ago, or maybe 2 weeks ago. So we're really trying to put it together. Now here at the end, a lot of things are happening at once. We're going to rehearse again tomorrow, and tomorrow is actually our last rehearsal, and then the show's on Thursday.
Everybody take a second and pick a spot where you're going to look.
I think first and foremost what kids learn from drama class is confidence. You know, I mean, there's all sorts of academic skills that come into, you know, their knowledge of story, character, plot, setting, you know, working on verbal skills, memory skills. But I think the social emotional piece is really important. And just the creative side, just them to be able to get up there and express themselves, you know, it's really fun to watch.
We're painting the roses red.
And then you're going to hear... So Jeremiah and Miles are Tweedledum and Tweedledee, and when we cast them as that, they were both kind of quiet and subdued in drama rehearsals, and these characters are sort of like that. They're very serious, and then they break out into something crazy and funny. And I think that's sort of what's been happening with Jeremiah and Miles, especially Jeremiah, as we've been rehearsing, that they've loosened up a little bit, they've gotten more comfortable, and that is, it's probably one of my favorite scenes.
Fine day for a match, my dear.
Fine day for a match,
I say, I'm being
sorry.
Reuben because he's at an appointment.
Megan is the Queen of Hearts, and we decided to make her both the Queen of Hearts and Alice's sister, so she's an authority figure throughout. she's sort of a nice, supportive authority figure who's kind of nagging Alice about doing her homework, and then she turns into this, super imperious, crazy authority figure.
Who's been painting my roses red?
And it's just nice to see her kind of bust out with that, and she's really getting into it.
She is only a child.
Couldn't we have a trial first?
And Reuben, he comes across, and I think in real life he is this way too. The King of Hearts character is sort of just nice, sort of gentler, sort of off to the side a little bit, like, okay, appeasing.
Oh dear, let's be reasonable.
Off with their heads!
And, not in everybody's face being the authority figure.
She admits her guilt. Off with her head!
Now, my dear.
And I think that they play nicely off each other because she's very out there and he's just sort of, okay, dear, that's nice. And that's exactly what his character is supposed to be.
Now the March Hare, the Mad Hatter's going to be kind of in the middle.
Gian was another one who was on stage a little bit last year, who was also just a supporting role. And I've been really impressed with him because when we gave him this character, I knew that he would be able to do sort of the White Rabbit character, and I didn't know if he was going to want to sing. And he really just took that and ran with it.
Can't even say goodbye. Hello, I'm late, I'm late, I'm late.
Awesome.
Who are you?
I don't know, sir. I've changed several times today.
Explain yourself.
What?
When Griffin first started doing the caterpillar, he experimented with the character in a lot of ways. He was angrier, he was sillier, he was more sarcastic.
One side will make you go taller, and one side will make you go shorter.
And eventually he kind of came to this resolution with how he wanted to do it, and he's done it very consistently. Once he found a way that he really liked to do the dialogue, he did it.
I think you should tell me who you are.
Why?
I just want to be a little bigger. You're just such an awful height to be.
Sydney's little Alice. Sydney has been listening to the CD of the show pretty much continuously since I handed it out. And she's been spending a lot of time practicing and working on her part, and I think it really shows.
I forgot, this bottle makes me shrink.
I think that it's really clear when you watch her how dedicated she's been to learning her part.
How about now? Alice!
Medium Alice is Drew, and Drew is really a natural. And she's also worked really hard at the same time. That she is very dramatic.
I don't care about manners.
She's got a lot of movement to her character. Her voice naturally projects. And she's inserted a lot of the touches in her acting she's really come up with herself. Like, I haven't given her a lot of direction about how to be Alice. I think she's naturally Alice.
No, it's just me.
Tall Alice is Lily.
Do that! I don't know. I think it was the cake.
And she's always been really great about learning her part.
I was just wondering.
if a rabbit can this way,
And she also is someone who just sort of added naturally the touches that you see on stage that I haven't said to her, stamp your foot when you do that because you're upset, or, do this tone in your voice. She really has come up with all those things herself. And then Grace is the Cheshire Cat, and Grace really wanted to be the Cheshire Cat. And we talked a lot about, does she want to be more scary? Does she want to be more mysterious? The Cheshire Cat appears at critical moments when Alice is sort of stuck and doesn't know what to do next.
So Alice, I heard you were lost.
But she's been really excited, and she's done a great job. So the Dormouse is Lucas, and the Dormouse character is really comic relief.
How did you do that? I don't know.
And so Lucas will fall asleep, and then all of a sudden he'll just pop up and say something funny and then kind of go back to sleep. And he's been on stage a little bit before, and this is the first year that he's doing a lot of lines. And so it's been really fun for him too, I think.
My dear, you must have a cup of tea.
So the Mad Hatter is Brian. So he plays it a little bit serious, but there's sort of a touch of the Mad Hatter in it, and it's just enough so that it's funny.
Ha ha ha, she doesn't know what an birthday is.
Good. And it's been really fun to watch him slowly get into this character. Sing to the audience, okay? They've all worked really hard. The moment where you take a bow and people are applauding for you, and you look out, you see your family or your friends in the audience, that, to me, that's the most important part of these shows. So for them to get the recognition from the audience at that moment, I think is really special. And I want them to feel like everything that they're doing is just leading up to that, like, oh, I finished. It's great. Now I can take a bow, and people appreciate the effort that I've put in. Of Alice in Wonderland, featuring the students of Room 203. During the past semester, we've been working really hard to present to you our little production, and we've been really focusing on developing the story, the characters, and the plot and the setting. And the kids have done a really good job of developing the script. We have one substitution this afternoon. The role of Tweedledee will be played by Griffin, because unfortunately Jeremiah couldn't be here today. So, but they're all really excited. It's going to be great. And, oh, I'm sorry, yes, and the role of the hedgehog during the croquet game will be played by Lucas. We wanted you all to know that as well. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. And thank you so much for coming.
Done yet? No. Not yet, Alice. You still have more someone with you. How about now? No. Now? Alice, you stop this nonsense. Nonsense? What's wrong with being nonsense? Don't be rude. You don't get anywhere with such disgusting manners. I don't care about manners. Oh, look, it's a rabbit. He's wearing clothes. And a pocket watch? Oh, look at the time. He could talk! No time to talk. I'm late. I'm late for a very important date. No time to say hello, goodbye. I'm late. Overdue. I'm in a rabbit stew. Can't even say goodbye. Hello, I'm late. Wait, Mr. Well, you have to be through that door. Wow, that was strange. Now where is that rabbit? Have you seen a white rabbit?
Oh dear, oh dear. You start when you meet someone for the first time. You say how do you do and shake hands.
Say how do you do and state your name and business. Well, I just want to know. This is ridiculous. I'm very lost and no one can help me. Excuse me, can you tell me please which way I need to go? That depends upon where you want to get to. I don't care where, then it's a matter of which way you go. Can I pour you a cup of tea?
Yes, you can. In fact, I think you should.
Then I will. Tea time.
Time for tea. Tea for time.
Excuse me. I was wondering if you had some cake. Thanks. Ah! A giant! Run for it!
No, it's just me.
How did you do that?
I don't know. I think it was the cake.
Tea, my dear?
Yes, please. I was wondering if a rabbit came this way.
New cup, new cup.
Moved on, my
What did you drink, my dear?
What is the drink, my dear?
More tea?
More tea?
My dear, you must have a cup of tea.
I do. It's not a cup of tea.
In honor of my unbirthday.
Honor my unbirthday.
Don't forget.
Don't forget, it's mine too.
But what is an unbirthday?
But what is unbirthday? What is it? Well, it's a day. Well, on another day, well, if you look at your calendar, ha ha ha. She doesn't know what an unbirthday is.
Allow me to explain. Statistics prove that everyone has one birthday. Just one birthday every year. But there's 364 unbirthdays, and that is why we're gathered here to cheer. A very happy birthday to you, A very happy birthday to you. It's great to think to someone and I guess that you will do. A very, very birthday to you. Can't talk, can't stop, I'm late!
Of course you're late. This watch is 2 days slow.
2 days slow?
I'm afraid so. But never fear, I can fix anything. The doormat will sing I Okay, that's enough. The springs of the watch are stuck, so I used the butter to make it nice and smooth.
And more tea!
Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh dear.
I said that's enough.
One. And that's not fixing two. Overdo at the palace all night for a while.
Silly rabbit.
Start raving mad. Wait! I'm out of tea! New cup! New cup! Oh,
Well, I guess I'll be going now.
oh dear. After all
high, and it's a great height indeed.
But I'm not used to it. Wait, where are you going?
One side will make you go taller, and one side will make you go shorter.
What's it what? The other guy's what?
The mushroom!
One, wait, the wrong side. It's so small it might disappear. Oh well. It worked, but I'm still cross. So else, what can I do for you? I want to go home. Apparently now you haven't met the queen yet. What? Go. Quickly, the game is about to start. Pardon me, but I was wondering what you're doing. We're painting the roses red. You won't tell the queen, will you? We'll be in a lot of trouble. We're painting the roses red. We're painting the roses red. We dare not stop or waste a drop, so let the paint be spread. We're painting the roses red. We're painting the roses red.
Finding boy match, my dear.
Finding except for my roses. Look at this and look at that.
Yes, my dear, I see.
Just what do you see?
It's the red roses, my dear.
Look closer.
Still red.
Who's been painting my roses red?
Oh dear, let's be reasonable.
Off with their heads! Oh, what do we have here? A little girl. Now, where do you come from? Where do you want to get to? Look up. Speak nicely. Don't twiddle your fingers. I think. Just. Here's what I'm thinking. It says that. Then open your mouth a little wider. And always say, yes, your majesty. Yes, your majesty. Good. You will be my guest in this afternoon's game. I believe I play the song of the Yay! This game is unfair! You know what's my game, eh? Off with their head!
Now, my dear. She's only a child. Couldn't we have a child first?
Okay, get ready for your child ready.
The courtroom is now in session.
Off with their head! The queen has passed sentence. But there hasn't been a verdict yet. Sentence first, verdict afterwards.
Well, child? Well, what do you have to say for yourself?
I don't see what's wrong saying it wasn't fair. It wasn't. She admits her guilt. Off with her head. I'm not afraid of you. You're only a deputy clerk. And as for you, you will be majesty. Off with her head. Did you hear me? Off with her head. It's not gonna work. You're only things in my dream. And now we're gonna wake up. Come on, Alice. Wake up. Wake up. Alex. Wake up, Alex. Had a long nap. Now it's time for tea. I just had this greatest dream. I'm sleepy.